Welcome back everyone to another upload on the AMV Zone. Today's video will be a history lesson about the rise and fall of Weekly AMV Contest. Weekly AMV Contest, which was also commonly known as WAC, was an event that took place a few years ago. And as the name suggests, it was a weekly event where editors had to make AMVs based on the given anime packs, and then a top 5 would be shown later. What was unique about this event is that the people hosting Weekly AMV Contest then were offering something called anime packs, which were also later known as WAC clips. In this video, we'll be going over how this event went from being one of the most successful endeavor in the AMV community to what it is today. But to understand what I'm about to tell you, I need you to go back with me to when it all began. The year is 2017. This is the year where Vine finally came to an end despite getting a huge attraction in America. Many AMV editors started to transition to YouTube and Instagram from that moment, giving rise to TikTok not long after. With that in mind, let us go back to the main topic. On April 2nd, 2017, the following promo was released. Following this teaser, the first week of the event called Weekly AMV Contest began. The rules were simple. You were only allowed to make an AMV using the anime clips provided. Mind you, this was during a time where Skype was fairly still used and Discord was beginning to take over, and WAC took advantage of that by creating an official Discord server. Despite the minimal promotion of the event, it was a success. It was something somewhat unique and authentic at the time for the AMV community that brought editors from different communities together. The aspects of getting anime packs of clip scenes already made for you to use was also an attraction for many. Another brand later on tried to copy this concept but failed miserably. But where did it all started, you may wonder? Well, to start, the concept of WAC was inspired by another event called One Clip Contest, which was also known as OCC. It featured a similar concept but for the Call of Duty community. Editors were given gameplay clips and cinematics that they could use and make videos with. Essentially, one person saw the potential of this concept and decided to make a similar event for the AMV community and invited 2 of their friends to help setting up the brand, and the rest was history, at least for a time. Not long after the success of the first few weeks of the event, WAC announced a partnership with a channel called T3C Anime. Essentially, how this partnership would work is that the first place of any week would get their entry uploaded on the T3C Anime channel. T3C Anime was a popular anime channel which was featuring interesting anime music videos from the community, commonly from Instagram and mostly from submission that they would review. This was a valuable reward for some editors as they took pride in being uploaded on T3C Anime and consider it being an achievement. Unfortunately, T3C Anime these days is more of a glorified channel, featuring more generic and mainstream AMVs rather than what it used to mean in the community. With this partnership set in place, WAC and T3C Anime would work together to bring the AMV community together for one event that would take place on a weekly basis with a reward that they could look forward to As 2017 went by, the event started getting more and more traction, and many well-known editors joined on the event, which made AMV enthusiasts look forward to seeing new entries during a new week. This was considered the golden era of weekly AMV contest. The Discord server was active as ever, and people were looking forward to the event. However, not everything looked as it seemed internally. During this time, some of the original creators of the event started leaving the project, leaving only a few to work on it. The quality of the entries started to see a decline as the weeks followed, and some of the fans of the T3C anime channel started questioning the partnership, as it looked like anyone could get uploaded on T3C anime regardless of the quality of the AMV. Eventually, 2018 came, and this is where everything took a turn for the worse. WAC saw itself under a new management, and a new era started, which lasted shortly. As time went by during that era, nothing new or interesting was happening, and WAC was becoming more of a resource for anime clips. From there, the current owner decided to give up on the project and left it on the hands of one of the other original creators, starting another era of WAC. During this time, this took WAC into an even worse decline when the owner decided that it would be a good idea to backwall all of the links of the anime clips behind ads. Essentially, all the Google Drive links were converted to pay-per-click links where people would have to skip an ad before being able to get to the actual link. It's unclear what the train of thoughts of the current owner was at that time, but thankfully, it was short-lived as they went on giving up the ownership again, leaving the project to a new owner who restored the links to their original form. At this point, WAC was no longer partnered with T3C Anime, and the value in the event gradually declined, and people were simply waiting for new anime packs rather than joining the contest. At that time, WAC decided it would be best to simply take a hiatus while figuring out what's next for the brand, as it was clear that things weren't what they used to be. To give you a clear timeline, this all happened during the first 6 months of 2018, right before summer. The following promo was released to announce the hiatus. So during the summer of 2018, while WAC decided to take a break, a community called We Love Anime then took an interest in the event. This community was essentially a fan base based around anime enthusiasts. They were interested in working with WAC in order to grow their fan base bigger by bringing in the WAC community. Since WAC didn't have many options at the time, this was an opportunity for them and another era began. WLA and WAC began their partnership working together in trying to bring something different. Around that time, WAC saw themselves partnering up with another Discord community called AMV Resources. Not long after, some of the creators of that community took over the management of WAC under the supervision of the original creator. Then, 2019 came. Without any heads up for the original fans and the people who still supported WAC, it was announced during the first month of 2019 that the channel would be rebranded to something called Anime Base. It was explained that this was the fusion between the partnership of the We Love Anime community, which changed their branding to Anime Base. WAC would essentially become part of the Anime Base community, and the channel would be used as a host to represent the brand. Another change that came with this announcement was that the contest would no longer be hosted weekly, but rather in a monthly format being known as the Anime Base Monthly Contest. Evidently, this news took most of the fans by shock while they expressed their confusion to all the changes that was happening, and for good reasons. The event was also taking place in the anime-based Discord server, which had a lot more moderation restriction than what the WAC server had. A small clash between the WAC community and the anime base was then happening at that time, with fans wondering if this change was really a good decision. However, this was doomed from the start, as during the first month of the contest, only 2 entries were submitted. This contest lasted till summer, where WAC decided to go on another hiatus, leaving their future uncertain. The current management then decided to leave the project, leaving only the original creator to think about whether or not they should continue the project. So around the summer of 2019, one of the original manager of WAC decided to join back in order to see if the project could still be saved. At this time, the anime-based community rebranded themselves to Anime Soul, which was reflected on the WAC channel as well. The anime-based monthly contest was no longer a thing. Instead, a new event called WAC RE was launched for a few weeks, which followed the original concept of WAC. Editors would be given the choice of using the new WAC logo or use the Anime Soul logo to join the contest. The difference for this event was that most of the original restrictions were lifted, such as being only able to edit the clips provided. Despite the low entries during the weeks, the event was somewhat of a success, with editors joining in on a weekly basis, bringing in between 10 to 20 entries. The owner at that time also introduced something called active packs, which were anime clips that they would release on a basis from ongoing anime series that had episodes being released weekly. Since anime clips were a big part of the attraction for many, the owner decided it would be a great idea to focus on that aspect and provide the people with the resource they wanted. At that time, the Discord server was somewhat still active thanks to those changes, as many of the previous anime packs were still listed there and people didn't have to use the Anime Soul server. However, nearing the end of 2019, the original creator of the event made the decision to leave the project, as it was no longer what it used to be and they had no longer time to invest on it, leaving only the manager to keep the project alive. Following that internal change, the current manager of WAC decided to go into another hiatus after week 8 of WAC RE. Then, the end of 2019 happened, and we all remember what it meant historically. During the second month of 2020, WAC RE is rebooted again, but this time with a different logo and brand vibe to it, following a black and yellow theme. The current manager, which was also the owner, seemed to have also gotten the rights back to the channel, as we see the Anime Soul channel changing back to Weekly AMV Contest RE. It was clear at that time that the partnership between WAC and Anime Soul was beginning to fall out, with things not working out in the end for them. During that same month, WAC announced that it was partnering with other AMV communities / team such as 9mm, Demai Studio, Sunder, Anime Editing Community, Fantasy, and a few others. This partnership was more of a commodity where WAC enters an agreement to share the event on their Discord server to attract more people to join the contest. Following that month, the owner released a website for WAC to make it easier for people to gain access to the anime clips, as the Discord server was not the best place to do everything. The website would be known as WeeklyAMVContest.com. WAC then went on to keep the project on live support, so to speak, introducing new elements such as the favorite edit of the week and having a public spreadsheet of the judges' feedback regarding the entries of the week. As the months went by, the event was rebooted up to week 11, which ultimately became the last one, with no updates on what would be the next step for WAC. Then 2021 arrived. At this time, if you went on the YouTube channel, the current owner had the WAC brand itself for sale, as there was no longer any incentive to keep the project alive, and the cost didn't start to justify the mean. An announcement was then followed that they were officially closing, and thanked everyone who supported them through all the changes over the years. For that reason, the anime packs became unavailable after a while, and the website followed. This was essentially the last era of WAC, where all hopes had fallen, and what used to be a unique event was just something we used to know. Shortly after that, it was announced that WAC was acquired by a partner that was a fan of the project and decided to buy the rights. However, this partner was more interested in the anime clips aspect as a resource rather than the weekly contest, as it no longer held the same attraction. The last owner of WAC agreed, and then a new project called animeclips.online began. This brand essentially would be a resource for AMV editors to acquire your anime clips easily on a website. The channel was then converted to the brand of animeclips.online, and the first iteration of the website was announced when it launched. It has been 3 years since animeclips.online was launched, and 7 years since WAC was first introduced. The last owner of WAC is still working with them on bringing in one of the original attraction, which was the anime packs. If you go on their website today, you'll see that it has quite changed and features a unique and somewhat clean design, which makes it easy to navigate when looking for anime clips. So this was the story of how Weekly AMV Contest became one of the most intriguing events in the community when it launched, to becoming whatever it was that it tried to be. If there's one thing you can take from this story, is that doing something for fun doesn't always pan out the way you think it will, especially when you do it with people you considered to be friends at the time. With that said, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Were you there when WAC launched back in 2017, or did you join during an active week? Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe, like, or dislike to let us know how you feel, and we'll see you next time on the AMV Zone.